Articles and research that lead this episode of Healthy and Happy Senior Living. Is there one fruit that, eaten daily, can boost brain health? Is there one fruit that, consumed daily, could improve heart and brain health? Kombucha may help control blood sugar in type 2 diabetes. Are you willing to invest 5 minutes a day to lower cancer risk? All of these stories and ever so much more in this episode of Healthy and Happy Senior Living. Hello, this is Stephen Carter, and I am your host for this episode of Healthy and Happy Senior Living. Indeed, I'm your host for every episode of this podcast. By way of brief introduction, I've been helping people reduce stress and enhance mental and physical well-being for more than 4 decades. Much of that work was done through my company, Stress Solutions, LLC, which is now Stress Solutions USA. For more information on my background and to hear previous episodes of this show and other health and mental well-being podcasts, visit our website at stressreliefradio.com, stressreliefradio.com. Who is this show for? Obviously, if you're a senior, this show is for you. This show is also for caregivers. Whether you're a caregiver taking care of a loved one, a family member, or you are a professional caregiver, this show is also for you. It is vital that we all keep informed about the latest research to keep those of us who are in our senior years healthy and happy. This episode is loaded with research and other related articles. All of the articles, all of the research that I share in this episode, you will find linked in the episode description, also known as the show notes. Because we do have a loaded list of articles and research, if anything I share in this episode is of interest, I encourage you to check the show notes and take a deeper dive into the information related to each of these research items. We will begin with an article in Healthline.com, 12 Ways to Expand Your Social Life After 50. 12 Ways to Expand Your Social Life After 50. Now, if you are an introvert, you may be saying to yourself, well, I just don't like all this social stuff. And I'm right there with you. I am very much an introvert because I've done quite a lot of public speaking, podcasts, radio, and so forth. I can put on an extroverted mask when I need to do that, but it does not come naturally. But I do know it is vital to stay connected with friends, family, become active with others in your community, in social situations, and so forth. That does not mean you have to party till the cows come home. I always wonder where the cows went. Obviously, those cows are extroverts because they probably would be at home anyway. But the truth is that we do need social connections. We are social animals. Whether you are an introvert, an extrovert, an ambivert, and by the way, an ambivert is someone who's kind of in the middle between extroversion and introversion, and I think most of us fall in that middle ground. In this article, 12 Ways to Expand Your Social Life After 50, they suggest 1. Get active, 2. Take a class, 3. Schedule daily hangouts, 4. Use texting and social media, 5. Find transportation. For most of us, this is not going to be a problem, but for some situations, for example, you may not be driving right now, work out a way through Uber, through taxi cabs, through local public transportation to find transportation so you can get out and about and do what you need to do. 6. Volunteer. Volunteering is near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I have done for many, many years. I volunteer for an array of organizations, and the good thing about volunteering is that it tends to be structured social interaction as opposed to simply making small talk in social situations that may seem unnatural or awkward. Number 7, meet people in diverse settings. 8, invite others into your solo activities. If you are a walker, for example, find a friend or just a neighbor, someone to walk with you. 9, swap solo online and TV time for social activities. Number 10, adopt a pet. This one you have to be rather careful of because depending on the climate in which you live, I love dogs, but dogs need to be taken outside in the snow, the rain, the cold. So if you're not a fan of that or you're not physically able to do that, perhaps a different type of pet, such as a kitty, fish, perhaps a pet bird, something that does not require you to be out and about with your pet. Number 11, visit your local community center. In many, many areas of the country, there are local senior centers, and they offer a variety of different events, information sessions, recreational activities. If you have not explored what's available in your local senior centers, have a go with that. And finally, number 12, if you are experiencing bouts of depression or you have other psychological challenges, there is absolutely no disgrace in seeking professional help. Number 12, get professional help if you're lonely. From Medical News Today, August the 2nd, could eating strawberries daily improve heart and brain health? Could eating strawberries daily improve heart and brain health? Study findings from new research by San Diego State University tells us eating strawberries every day can help improve cognitive function, lower blood pressure, and increase a person's antioxidant capacity. Strawberries really, really do taste yummy. Here are the 3 main findings from this study. First, berries in general are considered a superfood with many health benefits. 2, past studies have shown that berries help ease inflammation and help protect certain areas of the body, such as the gut microbiome and cardiovascular system. And 3, San Diego State University researchers say eating an equivalent of 2 servings of strawberries daily can help improve cognitive function, lower blood pressure, and increase a person's antioxidant capacity. By the way, this is a good time to mention a really important fact. I am not offering any medical advice in this or any other episode of Healthy and Happy Senior Living. I am simply sharing research from organizations that are deemed credible. The information I am sharing is for, information purposes only. It's vital for you to work with your physician, your doctor, or other appropriate licensed medical professionals for any issues of concern, and take no action in relation to any of these findings until you speak with your medical provider. From Healthline.com, headline, Symptoms Seniors Can't Afford to Ignore. Symptoms Seniors Can't Afford to Ignore. Lead sentences, be mindful of your symptoms. It may seem easy to dismiss unusual symptoms or attribute them to increasing age. However, some things shouldn't be ignored. When a new symptom might be a sign of a more serious health problem, it's important to get it checked out. These are some of the symptoms that they say you do need to be mindful of and take action if they're showing up in your physical body. Shortness of breath, speech or balance difficulties, vaginal bleeding after menopause, erectile dysfunction, constipation, bloody or black stools, swollen or discolored breasts, skin lesions, depression, and we talked about that, haven't we? Confusion or memory issues, and finally, the takeaway. If you experience a new or unexpected symptom, take the time to see your doctor. It could be a sign of a more serious condition. Early treatment can make a big difference to the outcome and avoiding complications. You may find it useful to list any new or ongoing symptoms before a doctor's visit. This can help you remember to ask all of the questions you might have, bring up any medications you're taking, and any side effects you're experiencing. This information helps your doctor to provide you with the care you need, and I might add, the care you deserve. From neurosciencenews.com, study links vision problems and dementia in older adults. Study links vision problems and dementia in older adults. This article from neurosciencenews.com dated August 1. Summary: a recent study suggests a significant link between vision problems and dementia in older adults. This study examined nearly 3,000 elderly individuals, showing a higher risk of dementia among those with eyesight issues. Key facts: the study showed that 22% of participants with impaired vision for seeing up close had dementia, and 33% of those with moderate or severe distance vision impairment had signs of dementia. After adjusting for other health differences, people with moderate to severe distance vision issues were 72% more likely than those with no vision issues to have dementia. And finally, number 3, the researchers' previous work suggested that 1.8% of all dementia cases, more than 100,000 of the 6 million Americans with dementia, are likely related to vision loss. Now, there's good news here and not so good news. 1.8% of all dementia cases related to vision loss, that is, quite frankly, a tiny fraction, a tiny percentage of all cases. Simply because you need reading glasses to read the paper, do crossword puzzles, or do whatever you need to do with reading glasses does not mean that dementia is knocking on your mental door. Not at all. What I do suggest, however, is that you have regular ophthalmologist checkup. Opticians are fine for what they do, but as we age, there are a variety of physical conditions that can be diagnosed by changes in the eyes. Do see an ophthalmologist at least once a year. That's my recommendation, and again, I personally go 4 times a year due to an eye condition that I am personally dealing with. Talk to your medical doctor, talk to your ophthalmologist. Do get regular checkups. Any condition that is caught early is typically very treatable. So do take care of your eyes so your eyes can continue taking care of you. From Medical News Today, dated July 30, 2023, Type 2 diabetes, ultra-processed foods may cancel out benefits of Mediterranean diet. 3 bullet points from this study. 1, the Mediterranean diet, which is rich in fiber and healthy fats and low in sugar, is currently viewed as one of the best diets for people with type 2 diabetes. Next, but a new study suggests that the negative effects of a diet rich in ultra-processed foods may outweigh the benefits of following a Mediterranean diet. Third, ultra-processed foods refer to food items that have been heavily processed and contain several food additives. I think the key takeaway here is if you're eating healthy, continue to eat healthy. Stay away from ultra-processed foods. We know that type of food is not good for us and can negate the effects of consuming food in alignment with a Mediterranean diet. From Medical News Today, dated August 3, 2023, kombucha may help control blood sugar in type 2 diabetes. Kombucha may help control blood sugar in type 2 diabetes. Key findings from this study: kombucha is a fermented tea that has benefits such as improving gut health. Next, researchers were curious whether the probiotic beverage could be helpful in lowering blood sugar and conducted a study with people with type 2 diabetes. Third point, scientists gave two groups of people with type 2 diabetes either kombucha or a placebo drink that tasted similar for 4 weeks and then tested their blood sugar levels. After a break, they switched the groups and tested the participants after another 4 weeks. Findings showed that kombucha for 4 weeks significantly decreased fasting blood glucose levels compared to baseline, whereas placebo did not. According to researchers, this is the first study testing kombucha in people with type 2 diabetes. From Medical News Today, dated August 2, 2023, constipation linked to higher risk of cognitive decline. Constipation linked to higher risk of cognitive decline. Key points: in a series of new studies, researchers investigated the link between constipation and cognitive decline. They found that one bowel movement every 3 days or less frequently is linked to higher levels of cognitive decline, alongside certain changes in the gut microbiome. And finally, further studies are needed to see how these findings could inform treatments and prevention strategies for cognitive decline. It appears what we have here is a correlation as opposed to causation. The difference being correlation just means that there's a high link between two variables in a given situation, whether that's a medical condition or something else. Causation, on the other hand, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. When we have X, X will typically lead to Y. It appears, in my judgment, and again, I am no doctor and I'm offering no medical advice whatsoever, it appears we have a correlation study here as opposed to causation. That said, I think the implications here are it would be a good idea to consume foods that we know are healthy for the microbiome, for gut health, and that includes food that helps you be regular in your bathroom practices. Medical News Today, dated August 2, 2023, headline, Dementia. Olive oil could boost brain health, according to new study. Olive oil could boost brain health, according to new study. Key points: over 55 million people are living with dementia globally. Next point, opting for olive oil could reduce your risk of fatal dementia, according to a new study. Third point, Participants who included half a tablespoon of olive oil in their daily diet were 28% less likely to die of dementia. And finally, olive oil has been linked to many benefits for the body and brain. So if you're not consuming olive oil on a regular basis, you may want to, again, talk to your doctor and see if this is something that would be beneficial for you. Here is an article that we have to be very, very cognizant of and aware of, and this is something you're going to want to talk over with your cardiologist, with your physician. This article from Medical News Today, dated August 2, 2023, daily low-dose aspirin increases brain bleeding risk by 38% in older adults. Key findings: researchers investigated the effects of low-dose aspirin on stroke risk in older adults. They found that low-dose aspirin did not significantly reduce stroke risk, but increased the risk of intracranial bleeding by 38%. And finally, clinicians should screen patients for cardiovascular and head trauma risks before prescribing aspirin to prevent stroke. Now, these findings may be at odds with other studies. If you have a heart condition or you have experienced a stroke, talk to your doctor before making any changes in the consumption of low-dose aspirin. Talk to your cardiologist, talk to your medical providers. So often, risk is a trade-off. You may want to print this article off and take it in when you speak with your doctor. Again, my counsel, if you are on a low-dose aspirin regimen, make no changes until you speak with your medical doctor. Would you invest 5 minutes of physical activity a day if investing that time could lower your cancer risk? In an article from Medical News Today, dated August 2, 2023, just 5 minutes of physical activity a day could lower your cancer risk. Just 5 minutes of physical activity a day could lower your cancer risk. Key findings: a new study looked at the effects of vigorous, intermittent lifestyle physical activity on cancer risk. Next point: researchers tracked the daily vigorous activity of 22,398 non-exercisers using data from wrist-worn accelerometers and monitored their health records for cancer for almost 7 years, compared with no VIPLE, which of course is short for vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity, compared with no VIPLA. 4.5 minutes of VILPA a day accrued through 1-minute bursts of activity was associated with up to 32% reduced cancer risk. And finally, everyday life offers plenty of opportunities to be physically active at a vigorous level, including stair climbing, carrying groceries, and power walking. Physical activity is an important facet of overall health and well-being, according to this article. And we'll close with an article from Medical News Today. Can the MIND diet or cutting daily calories improve cognition? Can the MIND diet or cutting daily calories improve cognition? This from medicalnewstoday.com, dated August the 2nd, 2023. Key findings: as a result of aging or age-related disease, such as dementia, people may start to experience a slight slowing of processing speed and occasional memory lapses. Next, diet may offer protective benefits against cognitive decline, but these results have not been repeated in clinical trials. Third, now a new study has found that for older people, cutting daily calories intake by a small amount may improve cognition. And finally, improvements in cognition did not differ significantly between people who followed the MIND diet and those on any mild caloric restrictions. So I think on this third point, the study found that for older people, cutting daily calories intake by a small amount may improve cognition. Again, do have a conversation with your doctor before making any changes in your diet, medication, activities, or any other aspect of health. As a reminder, all of these research articles will be linked in the show notes. As a matter of fact, I may put in one or two additional articles that I did not cover here. If you would like to listen to previous episodes of this show, visit our website at stressreliefradio.com, and click on the podcast tab. I'll also share a link to the dedicated site for the Healthy and Happy Senior Living Show. All of the previous episodes will be there for your listening pleasure. If you would like to be in touch for any reason, email me at cartermethod@gmail.com, cartermethod@gmail.com. Until our next visit together, I wish for you and your loved ones blessings in abundance.